Hi guys, welcome back to Forgetful Scholar, and this week we're going to chat about books. Two books, or like a book and a novella. So we have cozy mystery and we have paranormal, alien, sci-fi, monster romance. And if you know, if you've heard me string those incoherent words together before, you know that that means a Michele Mills book. So let's start with cozy mystery, contemporary cozy mystery. That's Murder in the Library, Julia Bird, Book 2 by Gayle. Gayle's two authors, and I think you might remember from like a week or 2 weeks ago, I accidentally reread one of their books that I've already read, the Epiphany Bloom series, that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I love Julia Bird series. I'm really enjoying it. This one I'll give 3 stars. So this is the second book, so we're kind of establishing Julia in a small town that she moved to. She used to be a social worker, and she's in her 60s, and she got divorced. But what I like about it, what I really liked in the first book, and what I continue to like it in this book, it's not a tumultuous divorce. It turns out her husband is gay, and Julia is friends with his new husband. So I love that, And what I really like about Julia is that she kind of, like, she's a lovely, like, how can I say it? She's a lovely lady. She kind of makes me think of, like, the British version of Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote, and I love it. I love Murder, She Wrote. So I really enjoy this, right? So in the first book, she accidentally dug up a dead body in her new place, found out that mystery, and got herself the local Dr. Hunk Sean as her man. Well, not really her man yet, but like you could tell he likes it, right? And like that was so cute because they're both in their 60s and they have a lot in common. It's very cute. So the secondary romance thoroughway plotline is so very cute. I really like her and Sean's relationship. I like that they're friends. I like that it's like a little on the slow build, but not in a bad way. Like just people who have, had a life, had bad experiences in the past, and just like kind of building a nice solid foundation. So I like that. And like they're so cute, So this one, which I kind of really enjoyed, it was sort of a little meta, a little bit. So this famous local author who writes a lot of cozy mysteries himself comes to the town and does a meet and greet at the local library where her best friend since childhood runs it, right? So he does this meet and greet, right? And so Julia is helping close up after the meet and greet. And wouldn't you know it, she just happens to find his dead body. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm like, oh, this is so Murder, She Wrote. I love it. Murder, She Wrote mixed with like Midsummer Murders, which is great because I love those both. I love those two shows, so great. And I love that Julia's just classy and she's genuinely nice. And I love that, she could read people really well because she was a social worker. Like, I like that the clues, it matches up. Her personality is very solid. It's very thorough. She feels like a real person. I enjoy it. This mystery I thought was great. There was a lot of little clues, Did I kind of think, like, had an inkling who it was? Yeah. There was a couple of like twists and turns. I was like, "Ooh, maybe I'm not right." Ooh, and I love that. I love that. I'm not gonna say who it is because again, it's a mystery. You should check it out. It's a lot of fun. But it was very cute. So he's found murdered, and the thing is, he's kind of related to Sean. So his cousin's daughter's husband. So he's so it's an interesting side of Sean. Because the first book, he was very cool, calm, collected, used to emergencies, a local country doctor. He gets it, a British version of Seth from Murder, She Wrote. Just nicer because he's not a curmudgeon like our lovable Seth is. But anyway, I gotta stop talking about Murder, She Wrote. Although now I really feel like watching Murder, She Wrote. Focus. So, So we do see a different side of him. Like, we do see Sean getting mad, getting frustrated, and handling it in like an adult's... He's an adult, and he's handling it in a good way. He's not self-destructive or anything like that, right? And Julia accidentally on purpose kind of inserts herself. She's trying not to because she doesn't want to ruffle the main policeman, like chief inspector of the area, her feathers, and like that's a woman. Because so many of these things, like the woman, unlikely detective and the head cop, who's usually a male, they like butt heads and, you know, kind of the. So I like that it's a woman head cop, but they still butt heads because, like, yeah, it makes sense because, you know, Julia's not a police officer, so it does make sense, but it just feels much less condescending when it's a woman. It's like, hey, that's not how the law works. And that's probably a me problem. I'm probably reading misogyny and like that's probably a me problem. Anyway, so the thing is there's little clues. Not only is he murdered his wife, because the thing is he's very charming, so his wife kind of suspected he's been cheating on her. The publicist has a missing manuscript from him that comes to light. Like, there's a lot of, like, oh, wait, you know, coming up. And there is a character from the first book that was just kind of a throwaway. Oh, you know, that's Henry or Harry. He has a metal detector, you know. I was surprised he kind of came up more and more in this book. So it was interesting. And I was like, oh, I kind of would love that these, like, unique cast of characters, we get more of them as the books go on, you know. She goes to the local scone, like, tea shop, and, like, Flo is, you know, trying to get gossip out of them, you know. Like, I loved the town, and I loved the cozy vibes of it. I will say, I did think it dragged sometimes, you know, like, she has chickens, and a couple of chapters, it started with her feeding the chickens, and then taking her dog for a walk, and, like, I think Jake in this, her cute little brown Labrador. I loved him in this book. I always loved animals in books like this, and I liked that, like, he kind of helped out a lot, which is good, but he was still a naughty little boy sometimes, because, you know, dogs. I was like, oh, okay, we don't have to hit, like, it was like 3 chapters where she feeds the chickens. I get it, you know, I get it. One chapter of that kind of sets the scene and cozy, I love it, vibing, let's go. But I think repeating it a little too much kind of dragged the story a little bit. So, oh, I didn't even mention, it is 272 pages. Okay. And then there was a couple of dream sequences that really didn't amount to anything. Just kind of showing us that her subconscious is seeing something that's up. But the thing is, the authors did such a great job of us being able to follow Julie's thought process that, like, I don't think we needed the dream sequences to be like, oh, she knows something up subconsciously. No, she knows something up, like, consciously. She's a very intelligent, intuitive woman. She knows what she's, like, no, I just, like, I think those parts kind of made it drag a little bit for me, and kind of slowed the pace of the book a little bit. That's why it's not, you know, 4 stars and everything like that. I think the story overall was a lot of fun. I think the murder being ramped up, I was like, oh, the clues, that was fantastic. I liked when the clues clued, you know what I mean? Didn't just come out of nowhere. Confrontation on the page, love it. I love confrontation on the page. I hate cozy mysteries that don't do confrontation on the page. I loved it. And it got me like, oh no, what's going to happen? A little bit, which I was like, wow, because usually these books are really nice and cozy, steady, even pace. So when the confrontation came up and, like, I was like, oh no. Fun. A lot of fun, right? So I gave it 3 stars because it's just, the pacing was a little off for me, but at the end of the day, I had a blast. I had fun. So there we go. Now, the second book is the alien sci-fi contemporary, but not really monster, alien, paranormal romance. Again, if you've heard me say that weird string of words together, you know I'm talking about a Michele Mills book. So, His Human Rebel, Monsters Love Curvy Girls, Book 12 by Michele Mills. Now, this is 176 pages. Probably a little less because there was like a preview chapter for the next book. Now, I have read all of her Monsters Love Curvy Girls books. This is 3 stars for me. Yeah, some of them I love, some of them I find batshit crazy. I'm going to bring it up because I can't let things go. That one book where the the alien guy was hiding out in the girl's house for like 6 months without her knowing. Freaking weird. Lives in my head rent free though, so I guess that's good. Anyway, these books always crack me up because you could tell she's having fun writing it. Like the author's having fun, right? And it has to do with so I haven't read this book in a while, this series in a while, so let me recap a little bit. So this story is sci-fi in the fact that it's like aliens in a far-off galaxy. So what happened a long time ago, different kind of aliens kidnapped a bunch of humans off of Earth, and they made a new Earth where the humans were slaves. Humans just recently got their freedom, and New Earth is a little bit of a slum right now. Like they're trying to figure it out, right? And like most places, the main cities are more liberal, and further out you go, more rural it is more conservative views, right? And at the ending of this, which I really liked, by the way, I wish more happened, but I liked it. I was like, oh, okay, I could see a little political opinion coming in. I don't hate it. I don't mind it. Okay, let's go. So that was interesting. Now, there's these aliens that look like the Red Devil, like Red Devil black horns. They breathe fire, they have tails, and every time a human sees them, they scream in fright, but they're super nice people. I believe I don't know how to pronounce it, but Hurricane? I'm gonna just go with Hurricane. They're super nice, and their culture is obviously different than human or Earth culture, right? So think about it. Like, okay, so the Hurricane, his name is Rake, and the human, her name is Stella. So Stella is a teacher, but she's also an activist. So in this small rural town, she's trying to get it a little bit more equal rights for everybody, right? So she does sit-in, like peaceful protest, right? And she keeps it very separate from her job because she loves those kids and she doesn't want to impact their studies, right? So right away, we see Stella is a very independent, kind person. Now, this is one of my favorite tropes. And I know it's like, oh, I can't believe you like that trope. But like, it's a good trope. It's like one of the classics for a reason, okay? So it's forced marriage trope. So, Stella got into a big trouble during one of her protests. And she doesn't know how it happened, you know. So she got arrested. And the council not only found out she was pregnant, which was a surprise to her. She had a one-night stand off the page. Great. Don't want to see it. If it's not the two main couple getting on, I don't want to see it. I don't care, right? So that's good. Off the page. And she's basically married off to Rake on like a bride order website. I will leave the explanation why he did that in the book. I was still kind of like, it's kind of a loose explanation, but whatever. So she's sent to their planet, married in absentia to Rake, and he knows, because like Helicrin have great sense of smell, so he knows that one, she's attracted to him, and two, she's pregnant with a human baby, and he still wants to try to have a real relationship with her because he also smells that she's his mate. So I was like, oh, so cute. I know, it's so cute. So they get to know each other. She gets to meet his family, and because his brother and his best friend both have human mates, she gets to meet them. They were in previous books. It was cute. She finds a place there. She finds people that actually care about her. She gets in touch with her mom because her poor mom had no idea what was going on, and she likes Rank. You know what I mean? It's very sweet. The final confrontation with those it's 14 minutes and I can say those assholes that married her, like imprisoned her, married her off, is lovely. I kind of wish they got thrown in Holocron jail. Not gonna lie, even if it was just for like a night, that would have been, but you know me, guys, I'm bloodthirsty, so what can I say? That would have been really good. I will say it's 3 stars because usually, and also the funniest part that I always like about this book that you could tell she's having a good time writing it is like they're terrified of these like demon looking aliens, and then like the next chapter they're like, oh, I want some of that big red D. Like it's just like so fast. It's such, and I don't know why It just makes you laugh every time. And you just kind of get a sense of that the author is laughing with you, you know what I mean? And they're having fun and you're having fun. And it's like, okay. So I enjoy that, right? I get that. That's part of her style. I find it fun. I will say though, this book was unusual for me. Well, I should say unusual for the author because there's a lot of repetition. A lot of repetition. Like she's really straightforward, straight shooter. She told him right away that she was pregnant and everything happened. Cool. I appreciate that honesty, especially since he could smell that she's pregnant. Not that she knew, but I appreciate the honesty. It kind of shows who Stella is, right? But then she tells him again. And then she tells him again. And then she tells his family again. And then she tells his family again. Like, it was just too much. Like, her backstory, we got, like, it was on the page, like, 4 to 5 times. I was like, we get it. Like, I would have liked more, like, her being honest about her being pregnant and not knowing, and the father's not there. Fine. Keep that. And then maybe in the gathering when she's meeting his whole family, explain everything. So the reader gets it all. Like, there's a little bit of mystery for, like, 50 pages, and then we get it all at once, right? And like, ooh, okay. Because I already read her backstory 3 times in different sections of this book before she tells the whole family the whole truth, which only added like a sentence or 2. And his friend who is like a cop or their version of like a police chief, he was like, are you sure you weren't framed? She's like, oh shit, I probably was. You know what I mean? So it wasn't, that scene was great. It's just, if we didn't have the other scenes of her constantly bringing it up to rank, I think that scene would have been a little bit more impactful, and I think we would have felt a little bit more like, oh, so that's what happened. Okay, I was freaking wondering. You know what I mean? So I think that, and I was kind of surprised because like this kind of repetition isn't really, I haven't really seen this for this author, so I was kind of surprised. Because this author tends to do novellas that build this crazy world that is enjoyable, fun, and like fun and oddly really sweet romances very quickly, you know, and I liked the romance of this. It's just, I'm like, at 3rd time I'm reading her backstory, I'm like, okay, I get it. You've told the reader already twice. Oh, we're doing it again. Oh, yeah, I was just like, that's odd. You know what I mean? That's not really, but I mean, I guess every author has their off books, right? Like the one where the guy was hiding in her house for 6 months. Okay. I know I should stop talking about it. I read that book like 2 years ago, but it lives in my head rent free because that is crazy pants. Anyway, and he like loves his, I guess, no, adopted, because he adopts her son, and he loves him, considers him son. He's not upset that he's fully human, loves the kid. And I was like, oh, Rick, you're so sweet. I'm a sucker for that. I'm a sucker for like a single parent finding someone who loves their kid as their own. Like I like those books. I wish they were better done. Oh, I'm so bad when it comes to contemporary romances. So many of them disappoint me. Anyway, I think Lisa Kleypas, one of my favorite of the was it Hathaway? No, I think it the Ravenel books. Yes, the Ravenel series. One of my favorite is when a widow with 2 boys, and the main guy just loves those kids too. You know what I mean? Like treats them as his own. Oh, that was so cute. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's been a week. So that was my only like, ooh, that's the reason this wasn't 4 stars, because like forced marriage trope, slowly falling in love. Well, not in these books. Pretty fast falling in love. You know, loving the kid that's not yours as if they were yours. Like, oh, I love that. You know what I mean? So the repetition really pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. It would just happen too many times. I'm like, Michelle Mills, I read like 20 of your books, probably, almost, I think so. What is going on, girl? That's not like you. What's going on? You okay? You okay? Did you send this off before you like proofread a little bit? Like, I just think her being upfront with him was great. Maybe being upfront with pregnancy and then keeping why she was there to herself. then explain the whole thing with the family, or maybe even like putting hints to him that like she didn't do this willingly, you know? Because I like that his friend the cop was like, that doesn't sound legal, you know? So I kind of want a little bit more legal ramifications for the people that forced her into this situation. But I did like that Rank terrified them because he flash flamed because they like breathe fire like dragons, you know what I mean? So he scared them. So I did enjoy that because again, bloodthirsty. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I don't want too much time for me to get back to the real world. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.